Sri Hariyanu Harshitha, a German artist who performs Thullal. Thullal is an art form. It's instituted by Nambiar in Kerala. Thullal is an art form which embraces the diversity in society and sharpens against the social evils. Here, I welcome you, sir, to share your experience on this subject.
My name is Hariyanu Harshitha and I'm just sitting here in Tripunitura at the Purnanatraisha Ambalam.
My first question is,
Yes.
Dr. Hermann Gundert is a prominent figure among German scholars in showing a special interest towards language Malayalam. His manuscripts were found from Talasheri and published in Germany in 1993, and Gundert Foundation was instituted on the same date.
Yes.
Dr. Albert Franz, who took initiative for this, died last January. His daughter, Dr. Margaret, chose her doctoral subject on Parsi protest. When you are counted as one among the scholars who have shown deep respect to the Malayalam language, what are your views on it?
I have to say that I know Dr. Albrecht Franz and I was member of this conference in 1993 and I could participate there. I came there along with Dr. V.S. Sharma and I had a small initial interview. I was just singing one shlokam and just introducing myself within this conference. Of course, I admire him very much because Hermann Gundert, of course, the main aim was to translate the Bible, and he was a very big talent. He spoke many different kind of languages. And in Malayalam, he was so bold that he made a very big dictionary. And I'm working with this dictionary also. He was collecting words and sayings from all parts of society, also from very poor people. And this Malayalam English dictionary is a very rich book. You can learn a lot out of it. And of course, the work of this Hermann Gundert Society, I admire a lot. They supported me even in studying Thullal twice when I came here to India. And I think that he was a very great man. Yes.
The Indian axiom is unity in diversity.
Yes.
It is all the more reflected in the diverse arts it has. From these diverse forms of arts, how did you get attracted to Thullal?
It just looks like in a tale. When I was in Germany, I was interested also before 91, before I came here in art. I was studying some dance. I have been in a ballet school. I studied some pantomime in a school. And just by chance, I came across one book on Indian dance. And there was one chapter written about Thullal. And because I was looking for a chance to get a real education as an artist. And I like to be abroad, but only speaking English. And so it was a good combination of playing theater, learning a text, singing, dancing. And I found this Ottan Thullal, I was already 25 years old when I came here. It's just very brilliant for me. And like that I came to India. And it was in the beginning that Kerala Kalamandalam, of course, they didn't expect that someone is asking from outside to study Thullal. So they told me, you're mistaken, you want to study Kathakali. No, Vanda, I want to study this Ottan Thullal. So there were some letters going here and there. And in the end, they just told me, you just come here and then you select what you would like to study. So I started with Thullal and I kept with Thullal.
Good. When an artist is about to perform Thullal on stage, what transformation should he bring in his mind and body?
Of course, he should normally it's like that you're repeating this very often in the class, and also during the class you're paying respect to the legs of your guru and to the cymbals, and you just should clear your mind and be ready to perform now for the audience, but respecting the goddess and not speaking vulgar things. Of course, the text is fixed. But the way you are behaving on stage, of course, it's depending on you. And you should not make too many new things which you didn't do during your class, because then maybe your teacher will object afterwards. And sometimes maybe even the audience will object. But just clear your mind and be ready and be free of any kind of fear. But of course, it's not so easy. Some tension should be there. Because when the tension is going during the program, you are performing with more excitement and more power. And afterwards, of course, adrenaline is inside of you, so some tension can be there before. It's no problem. better, because when you are too much used to perform, you maybe just do like that, and what can I say? Yeah, you are not aware of the audience, or you just play and you are not silent in your mind during program. So better some tension, not too much, of course, no fear, and then it's a good program. Yes.
The teachers and students of Kalamandalam consider Thullal as a classical art. However, the art form origin can be found in the 18th century, and it maintained its identity apart from other classical arts. Thullal began its journey in Kalamandalam only in 1956.
Yes.
We can find the Kalamandalam style of using classical steps and mudras being inculcated in Thullal. Do you believe in bringing such styles in this art and making equivalent to other classical arts?
I think that there is a big difference. For example, when you see the Thullal style in Travancore in the south or in Malabar in the north, where there's not so much influence from Kalamandalam, this is also, it should be there. Because the Kalamandalam style is very much, how can I say, it's very much influenced from all the classical arts surrounded. Kathakali, of course, is classical. Bharatanatyam is classical. I consider Thullal is maximum semi-classical, because it is the main important thing that you address the audience and that you reach the audience. And it's not necessary to make very complicated steps. This was not the idea from Thullal. The main important thing is to keep his concept, which means there should be also some philosophy, some social criticism, and this is more important than having 10 complicated steps. But of course, it's nice to see when someone is performing who has some influence from Kalamandalam, but I also like to view the programs from people who are not doing so many steps.
In this postmodern era, political correctness is being checked by society. In Thullal, mocking of a fat person or other types of mocking, body shaming may bring criticism from the society. How can an artist overcome these problems?
Of course, you have during every program you have the freedom to select to whom you address what kind of lines. If there are people who should be respected, and surely some lines like for this purpose will come, you address it to them. But of course, you should not overdo with this comic aspect. And when there is someone who has maybe some physical defect, or he's maybe a little fat, it can happen, of course. You never know, maybe some sickness is behind this. So you shouldn't, if you mock on people, you should not put too much energy in this. Of course, you then can do some things, especially with children, because they enjoy a lot when some funny things are happening, but you should not do too much. And of course, never insulting people. Never.
Have you faced any problems from the audience while performing this art?
Yes, there is one thing. When I performed Kalyana Sugandhingam many years back, it was taught to me from Kalamandalam Devaki. On that time, I didn't know about Prabhakaranashan, or it was too complicated for me to go from Cheruturuti to Ernakulam. And for example, in one program, I performed Hanuman in disguise of an old monkey. And so my opinion was, as a foreigner, as a German, he's transforming himself into an old monkey, so surely he will be also smelling, because he is not keeping attention how he looks and what he's doing there in the forest. So I showed something like this, some ugly smell, oh wonder. And after the program, it was in front of a temple. After the program, one woman from the audience came to my teacher and told, it was very nice what the foreigner did here. He studied very well, but Hanuman is not smelling. So even if there is the monkey god Hanuman in disguise of an old monkey, you shouldn't show smell. And of course, and I didn't do this, not in the class, only during the program, one time. Of course, after I never did it again. But in my German translation, you will see today, when also Bhima Senan is coming there and seeing Hanuman in disguise of an old monkey, I will show something like smell. Because in Germany, Yeah, of course we are respecting the Hindu goddess and kings and big monkeys and whoever is there. But in my society, when some theater play is there and you will make fun of people, there is something with smell. But of course, I know that people may be looking on this. Maybe very few can understand my German text today, but I will show some apnea, but not too much, so that there is no objection from the Malayali audience.
Can you share some special memories while mastering or practicing this art?
Yes, what can I share? Yeah, I had tuition with Divakar Nairashan. He was the one who started 56 the course at Kalamandalam, and he's a teacher from Prabhakaran Ashan. And for example, I liked very much the story of Harishchandran Charitam. And of course, you can buy books everywhere, even for children. And he was the king who never spoken a lie.
Yes.
And he gave away everything. And Nambiar has also written this story. He translated it into Malayalam from Sanskrit. And 1,000 lines are there. And I was willing to study this story and select 200-300 lines for a program. And I started to translate the story. And after 300 lines of translation, I asked my teacher, my translation teacher, you just have a look over the whole text, if everything important is there. And then he looked, and some things were missing. So Nambiar, in fact, didn't finish the story. So very quickly, I had to change. But I was willing to study a Parayan Thullal story. I had tuition with this Divakar Nairashan in Pulindi Moksham. So he was a little in distress. Oh, what can I teach this foreigner? And he selected Gajendra Moksham. And Gajendra Moksham is not written from Kunja Nambiar. It's 100 years younger. It's written from one Venmani, I don't know the further name. So, and he never taught to anyone else because no one was asking. On that time, in the 90s, Parayan Thullal was not so popular. Only some people were performing like Prabhakaran Ashan, Pulindi Moksham, and also at Kalamandalam, only Pulindi Moksham was taught half an hour maximum. No one was interested. So I asked for the second story, and I'm the only one who knows this story. And very complicated lines, and I was able to perform at 99 in front of the temple in Ambalapura at this Kunjan Smaraka stage. And this was something very special because no one other knows, and I translated this story also into German. And just by chance, because Nambiar didn't finish Harishchandran Charitam, I came across this Gajendra Moksha. And like this it goes 200 lines, so very complicated.
Yes.
And even Prabhakaran Ashram was respecting me for this because he doesn't know the story. And he sees how complicated is the singing, so he showed me really the respect that I studied these lines.
Nanjiamma, a folk singer from Kerala, received National Award for singing in a film.
Yes.
A very few people criticized it, citing it not being classical. In a weekly magazine of Madhrubhumi, Nanjiamma says two things. Songs were there before even Bhagavatar. Bhagavatar is a well-known Carnatic singer. Secondly, she says, rice and blood are songs. What else should I learn? This I said because in a movie called Kamaladalam, in which you two performed, Master Geethanandan says, folk artists brought disgrace to Thullal. But when we look into reality, the art was performed before 1956 only by folk artists. In contemporary era too, folk artists like Krishnankuti Vayalar gave their blood and sweat for the art. What do you say about Master Geethanandan's view on folk artists?
I wouldn't agree with this because Malabarama Naya, he made lots of changes. Before there was Topya Madalam instead of Mridangam, and he invented lots of ragas and all these things. But as I told you before, the main important thing to recite the text of Nambiar and to reach the people, to bring it to the people. And also keep his concept with criticism and philosophy and of course a story and some humor. Because when the people are laughing, then they are ready to be criticized. And I don't agree with this, what Geethanandan said. I think also I know that some people were hesitating to call Vayalar Krishnankuti a guru because he had no guru. He was doing self-study, and but he did it good. Of course, in a folk style, and he never had a tuition like at Kalamandalam, but he did it in a good way, and he attracted the people. He performed stories which no other one was performing anymore, so I admire his work also. And I know some of his students, in example Kanan, and I think he's doing good work. And this is maybe, Ashans at Kalamandalam, sometimes they, of course they do good work, but sometimes they're losing the contact to the ordinary people and the ordinary artists, because they consider themselves something more superior. Of course, they are doing good work. They're teaching many students there, and in this special style with more steps, like the folk artist. But there is also folk artists should be there. There can be 1, 2, 3, 4 different kind of styles to perform Otan Thullal in one time. No problem. And I've been to lots of state youth festivals, and very often it was unfortunately like that the students taught from Kalamandalam teacher, they often got the first prize. But I found that also the students who were taught from folk artists, they did also very good work. And the audience, or the judges, they should also have or also paying attention to this.
Can you enumerate about Thullal that you have done outside India and about its reception?
Of course, what people told me in Germany, especially Indians, that they admire a lot that I translated it into German, because then they could follow. And there is one story, for example, 20 years ago, I could bring Prabhakaran for the first time to Germany. And we were doing our last program before we were going back to India in Frankfurt. And in Frankfurt, there was one Indian consul. He came from North India. He cannot speak Malayalam. And when Prabhakaran was performing his story, of course he enjoyed, but he could not understand all the small things, the criticism, the humor in the lines, because he cannot speak Malayalam. And when he saw my German translation, for the first time he could admire this Otan Thullal, because I am, as a German, could bring it to him, because he was able to speak in German. So this was a very funny story, that I was able to bring a North Indian consul a South Indian art. And he could understand and enjoy. And of course, Germans, they also like it, because even when you give a long introduction before you play Bharatanatyam, many people, they will get lost, because they don't know about these mudras, hand gestures, and they don't know the story. So of course, they are doing very complicated steps and beautiful up in air and everything, but many people are getting lost. And when you don't understand the text in Thullal, it's the same. And the text is the most important thing, because all the small things are there. When you point to the people, and when you don't understand this, very difficult to enjoy. And through translation, of course, German audience can understand for the first time. So they enjoy. But I have to admit, I'm not a genius like Nambiar. His poetry, of course, is very nice. Sometimes Germans say my language is little simple, my poetry. But of course, you write this text one time, and then it doesn't matter if you perform it at school or if you have a selected audience, big people, lots of paisa, and so one text for all people. So it should be a little simple.
Except for the language, what are the difficulties you face while learning Thullal?
Oh yes, there are many. Yes, what can I say? In the beginning, when I came here, I had never been in India before. So doing rituals like Guru Dakshina and all this kind of thing, I was a little hesitating. But during my stay here, of course, I saw it many times done from Indians. And for example, when there was Kathakali play, the best role was given to the eldest artist. And when young artists were leaving for stage, even when they were 50 or 60 years old, they did this. They just paid respect before they left for stage. And like this, I could accept this also. But of course, living here, as a white man, many people call me Vellagaran, and they think I'm a rich man, but in Germany I was just very ordinary living, very basic. I'm not rich. Before I was electrician, so what can I say? To live here, but you have to live here if you would like to study Thullal properly. But to live here and get adjusted with the society is also one heavy task. the climate also, of course. But when you are sincere and when you keep in touch also with some friends from abroad, or they may be also visiting you, then I think it's no problem. But also from the point of view, staying here for longer, you have to meet the right people which are not cheating you. They want to help you, they respect your interest for the art, and fortunately I met people like that. So this kept me going on. And now I feel, I know people from 91, I feel like a family member for them. When I'm at Papagran Ashram, I'm like the fourth son or the third son. Yeah. But this, of course, you will only get after lots of time spending with the people, and of course your heart should be open, and you should tell freely everything, share your emotions and memories.
Apart from the Thullal artist, how do you describe yourself?
How do I describe myself? I tried to survive from art in Germany for 20 years, but it was not possible. Because in Germany this art is not known to many people. But of course still I kept going on because I like art so much. And I think I'm open-minded. I can easily stay in a different country. And after this experience staying for a long time in India, often when I would like to discuss deeper into some subjects, I can do it only with people who also have stayed abroad. Because people who just go on holiday and have a nice time for 2-3 weeks, spending lots of money, they often don't experience the society there. They don't know the country where they have been. They just maybe have been in one holiday resort and enjoyed, of course, the time there. No problem, maybe they are working hard during the year, but I come along much better with people who have been abroad and stayed for longer in a different society, because they are much more open-minded. And when I see people in Germany coming from India, mostly I addressing them immediately. Where are you going?
Jetzt sofort, mach dich von diesem Fleck.
Keine Zeit, Schwester, nicht schnell, schnell, hier weg. Hoch mit dir jetzt sofort, mach dich von diesem Fleck. Hoch mit dir jetzt sofort, mach dich von diesem Fleck.
Yeah, thank you. I just will pay some respect to the stage. Yes, I also want to take the opportunity to say thank you to this German Cultural Center, Goethe-Zentrum, which is situated in Trivandrum mainly, but also in Kochi. They supported me very well. Also 15 years ago, they arranged one program for me. But today I'm very happy to be guest here at the Punatraisha Ambalam. Thank you.